Prepare to get gas because it's time for the Week in Gear. This week, I smell a rat, PRS get blasted, and Blackstar take on Fender. This show is sponsored by Pedaltrain. More about them in a little bit. Now, let's kick off this week's most exciting guitar gear releases with something new from Jet Guitars. Over the past few years, Jet Guitars have gone from being relatively unknown to a major player in the budget guitar scene. Now, they've decided to go a little bit upmarket and offer what they call the Elite series. Very fancy. Now, there is little information available about this range yet, but some clever person called Adam Brooks asked the question about specs on the Jet Guitars Facebook page, and Jet Guitars responded with two-piece body, which is alder or mahogany, quarter-sawn roasted maple necks, Indian rosewood fretboard, high-grade hardware, which is either Wilkinson or custom-made, custom in-house made pickups specific to the Elite series. Flamed maple models have a real solid 5mm maple cap with a veneer, and there's a deluxe bag included as well. In the Facebook group, there was no mention of price, however, so I reached out to Jet Guitars, and the European distributor sent me a price list and full spec list. And even though I'm not going to share it with you explicitly, the prices will come as a shock to some that just think Jet Guitars do budget models. They are, let's say, they're definitely not budget anymore, and that's probably why it's called the Elite series. Now, I think it's really exciting to see a budget guitar company. In fact, I've got a Jet just there. Yeah, that's my JJ350, I think. Great guitar. I'm getting modded soon, which is probably why they're doing this Elite. So the regular Jet Guitars, great guitars as bones, and then you can mod them, to your heart's content. The Elite Jet Guitars are intending to come with no modding. Well, you could mod them, but now you don't need to. What was I saying? Sorry, I went totally off track when I just looked at it and saw how beautiful it looks. I love it when a budget guitar company start to offer high-end versions of their existing models, but I still remain skeptical about whether people would be willing to spend Fender Player 2 money on a guitar brand with much less history behind it. Because we all know that for some reason, guitar players think history is important. The proof, as they say, is in the pudding, and Jet Guitars will be sending out a couple of the Elite models for me to review on this channel, so I will reserve complete judgment until then, of course. I am, as always, interested in your opinion on this. So, we've just had a budget guitar builder making premium models, so for number 4, we should have a premium guitar builder building budget models, right? Nice bit of balance there. PRS have just announced the SE Swamp Ash CE24 Sandblasted limited edition models. Words are hard. Straight off the bat, these are coming in at just under 700 notes, and they look phenomenal. The CE model is new to the SE range for 2024, and this is the newest iteration. And they are, quite frankly, leaving me a little hot under the collar. I'm not actually wearing a collar, but if I were, I would be bright red and sweating. The tops are, as the name suggests, sandblasted, and then those little divots I'm going to use, I love that word, divot, grooves, are filled with colored grain filler to achieve that sort of color bleeding through the black or white kind of effect, or whatever color the top is, The body is mahogany, the neck is maple with a rosewood fingerboard, and it has 24 frets with smoked black hardware, which is also new to this model. I know looks are not everything, but PRS have been absolutely killing it with the SE models recently, and each time they release something, I get closer and closer to finally buying my first PRS. There are a few colors that I like in this new Swamp Ash range, but the red and the black is straight out of the Phantom Menace, and I think I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm not 100% convinced, but as I said, I'm closer than ever. So maybe not quite yet, but yet again, if in a few years one of these comes up used and at a good price, I will be absolutely jumping on it. So if you buy one and you don't like it, remember that your pal Andy kind of wants one but isn't fully convinced. So, hit me up somewhere. Hello? Anyway, back to the release. More information is, of course, in the video description and first comment if you too are gassing over these. Gassing or gassing or gassing. Before we get to number 3 on the list, it's now time to talk about this week's sponsor, Pedaltrain. You might not realize it, but the quality of the soft case that your pedal board goes in is almost as important as the pedal board itself. Sure, these aren't the cheapest on the market, and there are other pedal boards you can get for half the price that do the same job. But for how long? So if you want your pedal board to be transported safely, make sure that it's a Pedaltrain. Check them out at the link below. And this is the part where I say, if you're enjoying this weekly show, consider that subscribe button and the thumbs up so that more people get to see it in the future. Oh, thank you. Enough of guitars and pedal boards. Let's talk about amps. That's where the fun is, right? The Blackstar TV10A is a dynamic, studio-ready valve amplifier that pays tribute to the classic American sounds of yesteryear. And yes, that is straight off Blackstar's website, so it must be true, right? Well, it is marketing, but I checked out the demo and I double, triple, quadruple, quintuple urge you to go and listen to it, because the music being made in this amp demo is the first product demo that's got me genuinely excited for a long, long time. Steve's playing in it is spot on, and in parts it's basic and lets the amp ring through, and then other parts it's kind of showy, and I'm like, oh, that was good, Steve. And then I also enjoyed, the sound. So it actually made me forget completely that I was watching an ad for the amp. I don't know how they recorded it, but this new Blackstar amp put it in the right hands and it sounds sublime. The TV10A is a 10-watt valve amp that goes from glassy cleans to low-gain crunch and is set to emulate a Fender kind of sound. It even looks like it. So yeah, that's what you're looking for. If you want high gain, this ain't it. Although, I don't know, you need pedals. Maybe, stick around, you'll find a pedal for high gain in a bit. The preamp has one ECC 8.3 tube, also known to me as a 12AX7, and the power amp has a 6L6 tube, which is just a 6L6. There are 2 foot switchable channels, clean and drive, and 3 speaker outputs should you want to plug into a cab or 2, which is always a welcome addition to a combo amp. The included speaker in the combo is a 12-inch Celestion 7080, which is not my favorite speaker, but I can see why they've included it in this, because it must keep the price down, and there's the speaker out should you want it. Anyway, there's also an emulated output for going direct and an effects loop. Brilliant. I am a huge fan of the Fender amp sound, and I'm very often using my Fender Deluxe Reverb on the channel, and I've been thinking about getting something like a Blues Junior, but I'm also a fan of Blackstar amps in general, so seeing Blackstar combine these 2 things that I like appeals to me as a player, but with Blackstar adding the features that I think are missing on several classic Fender amps, this TV10A excites me quite a bit. These are currently available for under 700 notes. It's about 650 or less, which is nuts. And if you're looking for that Fender-y kind of sound with a bit of grit and with a few modern additions, this should definitely be on your shortlist, because it's on mine. I can rarely talk about jet guitars on this channel without somebody asking me, what about Harley Benton? And how do they compare to Harley Benton? So, here come Harley Benton with the new DC Custom 2 range. These are firmly in the budget range, coming in at around 260 notes for the white and cherry 6-string models. But wait, there is more. Harley Benton have now updated the DC Custom 612 to the version 2, the Jimmy Page looking one, and that starts at just under 600. The double neck versions share many of the same specs, but I'm going to focus on the one neck version, however, because I think this is more applicable to most of us, and it's cheaper, so it applies to me more. Anyway, these have a Moranty body and a Moranty neck. The fingerboard is roasted Jatoba, And there's some seemingly non-budget specs on these budget guitars, such as a graphite nut, a double action truss rod, stainless steel frets, binding on the headstock and the neck, and Grover tuners. The thing that normally sells Harley Benton, however, is the price and quality. And I think that these are phenomenal value for money, if they're any good. And I will be finding out, as I've just received one and will be reviewing it next week. But if you want to jump the gun, however, links are in the video description and first comment. And maybe you let me know what you think. Andy's drink of the week. Now, there's been rumors that the pedal industry is not as exciting as it has previously been in the past few years. And I'm not sure where I stand on that, but occasionally a pedal comes along that just works. It's beautiful. It's ugly. It's disgusting, yet it's joyous. It's this anger and just makes you feel good when you play it. And the Rattler Mark II from Jam Pedals is one of those pedals. I'm going to hold it while I talk about it because it feels nice. It's cold and it's hot in here. Based on the ProCo Rat, the Rattler version 2 has knobs for tone and level and gain and a switch for asymmetric clipping or symmetric clipping and a foot switch for an adjustable mid boost. And there's hidden switches in there. Make sure to check that before you're ever starting a video review. Now, that might not sound very exciting. It's just another distortion pedal, right? No, not right. This right here is absolutely one of my favorite distortion pedals that I've ever plugged into. And if you want to hear more of it, or some of it indeed, then I reviewed it this week, and that video is available by clicking the card up there. And I urge you to listen to someone playing this, or even better, go and play one yourself, or just simply order it if you like distortion pedals. It's phenomenal. If you've ever played a Rat, you might be aware that there are some settings on the Rat that don't work, and dialing in a good tone on a Rat can sometimes be more difficult than finding the right temperature of a hotel shower. But the Rattler Mark II, it just doesn't have a bad sound in it. And this means it might not be for Rat purists, but if you've ever enjoyed the sound of a Rat, yet don't quite get along with a Rat, you could be, just I can't say enough good things about it. It's so good that I'm holding myself back. And I think I might even have held myself back in the review video because I didn't want to splurge too much. But if the Rat doesn't work with all of your guitars, for example, this might answer your prayers. This is actually going on my shortlist for pedals of the year, based on the fact that whenever I plug into it, or even think about plugging into it, I smile or have stank face the entire time. I rarely recommend a pedal so strongly, but if you've been disappointed with distortions of late, just go and try the Rattler Mark II. And also good news, there is a bass version, but I did try this on baritone and it sounds gorgeous. Thank you to the wonderful people that support this show on Patreon. Their names are on screen now. Hello, everybody. Also, hello and thank you to the lovely ones showing their support right here on YouTube. Their names, I've done it again, are coming up on the screen and they're displayed however Victor wants to do it. Their names. If you enjoy this show and you want to lend your support, or you just want to put your name up in digital lights, then click the join button right here on YouTube or visit the Patreon link somewhere where I put the links, probably in the video description. And here, in one breath, is a special thanks to the top tier members. Josh Tamberg, Sarang Narayan, Southern Panda 33, Andrew Morgan, Dustin Bonney, Gary O'Neill, Doug Paget, Boom Shakalaka, Dirk, This prank is officially sponsored by Jason Welch, Buzzle, Michael Lerner, Buddha Blue, Huge Erection. No! Pops Place, April Kurtz, Johnny McBaviton, Robin Kelly. Oh, that is genuinely painful. Worth it. Worth it. Thank you, top tier members, for that experience every week. Now, everybody else, have fun. Go and put your pedals on a pedal train board, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye! Got shorts on today, look.